welcome. The date is Sunday, May 31, 2020. My name is Anthony Ellenboss, your host for today, and you're watching CyberLink News. We turn first in the news today to a story that's sweeping the world. Churches in Canada, North America, and around the world sit empty on this Pentecost Sunday, usually a bright, festive day for Christians around the world as they celebrate the coming of the Holy Spirit. This phenomenon has left some asking, does the church still exist? Was the pandemic too much for it? Has the church been snuffed out? Well, there are some Christians in Hamilton, Ontario at Emmanuel Christian Reformed Church who reply, no. The church is very much alive and well, active throughout the city and the neighborhoods in which they live. We go now to that story and some of our field reporters who are taking in the coverage.
I'm here at Mohawk College after receiving reports that surges of rogue pastors have been preaching loosey-goosey at different locations throughout Hamilton. When you combine the state of emergency with the shutdowns the government has instated in closing non-essential churches, it is hardly surprising that pastors have turned to preaching their sermons on the loose. I have joining me today someone who's been very concerned about these events. Could you say your name?
Hello, I am Mrs. van der Lingendingen Kleine Grote Heukenbrugge Straasma, and I have heard tell that our pastors are being all loosey-goosey. Now, I want to be correct about these. Pastor Anthony, I do not believe would be loosey or goosey. Pastor Michael, he has only been here for less than a year, so now, well, I'm pretty sure he's not loosey. He just might be goosey. Just a little bit goosey. But we will see.
Thank you, Mrs. Vander Dingeling. This is still very much an unfolding situation. We'll be bringing you up to date as we hear more from Church Communications. I'm Anne Grotenhuis for CyberLink News.
Hi, my Emmanuel family. I've been putting way too much pressure on myself about what to put together for Church on the Loose, so it's going to be very simple. But I want to tell you how much I miss you all, how much I love you all, how much I wish I could hug you all. And I grieve with those that have just lost loved ones, and I pray for you. But I'm going to read you this devotion, and it's so appropriate, and it has special meaning for me too. So here it is. God knows you by name. I have written your name on my hand. Isaiah 49, verse 16. Quite a thought, isn't it? Your name on God's hand, your name on God's lips. Maybe you've seen your name in some special places, on an award or a diploma. But to think that your name is on God's hand and on his lips, my, could it be? Or perhaps you have never seen your name honored and you can't remember when you've last heard it spoken in kindness. If so, it may be more difficult for you to believe that God knows your name, but he does, written on his hand, spoken by his mouth, whispered by his lips, your name. I found this little book of prayers that I keep available for my grandchildren, and I want to share this little prayer for the children if they're watching or listening. Dear Lord, sometimes life has challenges like COVID, like isolation, like sickness, like death, and they are hard to face. But I know that you will help us through with your amazing grace. Amen.
Till the whole earth sees the Redeemer softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. See on the portal, oh, he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home, come home. You who are weary, come on home. Softly and tenderly, my Jesus is calling, calling, oh sinner, come home. Why should we tarry when my Jesus is pleading, pleading for you and for me? Why should we linger, oh, and heed not his mercies, mercies for you and for me? Come home, come home. Ye who are weary, come on home. Tenderly, earnestly, my Jesus is calling, calling, oh sinner, come home. Oh, for that wonderful love he has promised, promised for you and for me. Though we have sinned, he has mercy and pardon, pardon for you and for me.
Hi, this is Anita. I'm from the Soap Kitchen. We make lots and lots of homemade laundry soap, and I love to give it away. That's my favorite way to connect with the community. We have this recipe from Environment Hamilton, so it is environmentally friendly. And it is good for the wallet, so it's wallet friendly. And it's great for people who have sensitivities, it's sensitivity friendly. This is one friendly laundry soap. We have monthly workshops that are run during the school year, and as soon as this whole COVID thing is over and we're back to normal again, we'll be having workshops starting up again. If you'd like to know when, check out The Soap Kitchen, Hamilton, Ontario on Facebook, and we'll have the events posted there, and so you can keep up with when we're having events and you can attend one in the near future. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Time for another installment of Songs on the Go. Train. No ukulele again today. Gonna go with the harmonica. Gonna get it until I get it right. That's what I say. And he is good to me. He's good to all of us. Stay safe.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom.
Approximately a month ago, Pastor Anthony sent me, Pearl, an email asking if I could start a group as Holland Christian Homes were looking for help to sew masks. They needed 1,000. I of course said yes, and Pastor Anthony sent out a message through our bulletin asking for anyone who would like to help to contact me. A week later, we had a group of cutters, sewers, and delivery people, and donation of fabric. It was and is amazing, the people that wanted to help. Thank you to the following people: Shirley, Amy, Diane, Monica, James, Janet, Agnes, Katie, Bob, Glenda, Alice, Elaine, Greta, Ellie, Julie, Sharon, Linda, Jane, Christy, Megan, Hannah, and Emma Grace. Our front porch became a pickup and drop-off area, and then no sooner were they sewn as a finished product, they were out the door. I contacted Holland Christian Homes, and they had received enough, but there were so many other needs that I started to hear about. We have now donated to Shalom Manor, Micah House, Syrian Refugees, Indwell, Living Rock, Welling Stone, Good Shepherd, Homeless, Salvation Army, The Giving Closet, Interval House, Inasmuch, Neighbor to Neighbor, City Kids, Christian Horizons, Bibles for Missions Thrift Shop, and many other donations to friends, neighbors, where there is a need. Here are some words from Agnes, who gave some masks away. Agnes met one of her elderly neighbors at Shoppers Drug Mart, and they chatted. Agnes asked her if she had a mask, would she feel safer shopping, and she said yes. So later that day, Agnes dropped one at her door. Agnes also gave a mask to a neighbor who struggles with anxiety issues and calls Agnes daily to update her on numbers. There too, Agnes hopes this would bring peace. We gave Ellie some masks for a clinic who only had female print masks. The gentleman would not wear them, so she asked for some manly prints. We did, and here is what we were told. The masks were a hit. The patients were so thankful. One patient put his on right away. So there you go, some very happy patients. Christy has given a number to her neighbors also. The need continues, and we continue to cut and sew. The pictures you are seeing are some or all of the volunteers wearing masks, the fabric, the preparation, the drop-offs, the pickups, and deliveries. Quite amazing, isn't it, when we all come together? We are all in this together. Thank you, everyone.
That's not I don't know if I have the right to make a song about Aaron's life, but I know it comes from my heart. Only way I know to do my part to honor her. The new names, the emerald eye, quiet way, beautiful smile, understanding to be still, loving and walking in God's will. Blessings came, no mystery, a good man and a beautiful family. With these gifts you did your best. That's why you stand out from the rest. When I think of you, I see a field of green. Through it runs a little stream, peaceful waters, the soul of a daughter, mother and wife. You gave and lived a beautiful life. When the news came down and it hit hard, why is this in the cards? We believe we're in God's hands, but this is something we don't understand. Rainy day, middle of May, breathe your last, slipped away, as trees are budding with new life. Yours has started free of strife, 'cause it's been a hard road that you've been walking on. Cancer robs us, takes the music from our song. You did your best, do not complain. You are brand new like springtime rain. So when I think of you, I see a field of green. And through it runs a little stream, peaceful waters, the soul of a daughter, mother and wife. You gave and lived a beautiful life.
One of my most sacred moments during this time of COVID restrictions was when I stood in a cemetery with a simple sign, one that I hoped would show a grieving family that we, as a church family, were praying for them. I stood at a great distance, quietly, respectfully, and prayerfully, and I've been out there 3 times now. Sometimes I stood alone, and sometimes I was joined by others who had the same idea. It was an honor to do so. Blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
Hi, this is Pip here. This is for our Church on the Loose video. This is just a story. So I have somebody I've invited to Alpha. He declined that invite just for personal reasons. But throughout this COVID time, he reached out to me, and I found out that his wife is separating with him. This has devastated him, but he reached out to me. He texted me and he asked me to meet him at Tim Hortons, and so I was able to go there and just meet with him for a little over an hour. And he came out of his truck, and as soon as he saw me, he broke down, and he just started crying, and I wanted nothing more than to give him a hug, but I'm not sure if I wanted to. I should have, but we didn't because of COVID. But yeah, he just vented, and he reached out to me. He said he needed somebody, and I was just so thankful that I could be that guy for him, to just to listen, and for him to vent to. And so I've been in contact with him for the last few weeks, just texting with him and staying in communication with him, and just making sure he's doing okay. But that right there is Church on the Loose. That is God at work, and I am just so thankful for that opportunity. And I just continue to pray for him, and I just pray too that you guys may lift him up as well and pray for him too. Thank you.
I wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek as to what we do for our worship videos that we send out every week to you guys. And part of that includes doing the music. So I wanted to show you what we do for music while we are on the loose. So what we do is we kind of set up a basic recording studio-ish. So we're set up in the lounge right now to allow for a little more of a living room vibe. And so right now we've got keyboards and mic stands. We've got some DI boxes for guitar or whoever happens to be able to record at the time. And I'll ask certain individuals to come in, or a small group to come and record. And so what we do is we can lay a bass track so that we can send something to other people so that they can play along with it. And then Daniel Rinchma, who sits on the couch back here, he has his computer out, and he's got his interface there, and he puts all the audio that he gets, he layers them all on top of each other so that way they can sound like one thing. We've also encouraged musicians to take video of themselves, so Daniel also edits that as well. So all the music that you see and hear is done by Daniel Rinchma. Big shout out and thank you to him. Then we also have Andrew Bergsma, who takes care of all the stuff on the screen in terms of like graphics, lyrics, any text that we have. He takes care of putting all that together. And all of that goes to Mike Earls, who then edits everything all together into one thing. And everyone is doing a fantastic job at this. And I wanted to also say thank you to everyone who has given us some feedback about it. It's really hard to know if what you're doing is worthwhile or good when you have no people to interact with. So I appreciate all the notes and calls that people have given. And we hope that we can continue to do this, and then that it can be a blessing to our community. So thank you very much.
I want, he wants to be. This is Pastor Michael reporting for CyberLink News. In response to an earlier report about pastors on the loose, in fact, a certain Mrs. Van Dingelingen even accused those pastors of being, well, at least one pastor, being rather loosey-goosey. And my response to all of that is, well, what did you expect? A couple of months ago, we were told that we could no longer work in the church building, and that set us on the loose. So you might be wondering what I've been doing while on the loose. Well, one of the things I did was join a group called Go Local, which is sponsored by Resonate Global Missions. A bunch of us from various places, we meet via Zoom on every other Thursday, and we spend some time in reflection on Luke chapter 10. And then we spend time, each of us individually, walking through our neighborhoods and praying for our neighbors, asking God what He's up to in our neighborhood, and wondering if He's inviting us to participate with Him in something within the neighborhood, to be a blessing there. One of the things I've done is knocked on the door of a man that I've come to know a little bit. I know he lives by himself, and so I invited him to come on a social distance walk with me, and he was very happy to do that. And so every so often I knock on his door. In fact, last time I knocked on his door, he opened the door and said, "I knew it was you. Just let me put my shoes on." And I said, "What do you mean you knew it was me?" He says, "Oh, you have this knock, and I know your knock." So who knows? Maybe others of you will get to know my knock. And sometimes my wife and I, or my daughter as well, we drop off some baked goods at his place to cheer him up a bit, and he seems to appreciate that very much as well. So this is Pastor Michael reporting for CyberLink News about pastors on the loose. Are they on the loose? Absolutely. Are they loosey-goosey? Well, we'll leave that for you to decide.
So Emmanuel's a church on the loose, but there's actually a program running this summer, and it runs every single summer for the last 10 to 15 years, and that is the Athens Street Community Garden. We've had to put in place a few guidelines for the gardeners in order to keep them safe, but other than that, we are good to go for the season. And come along, join me in the garden. So here we are at the garden shed, and in here we have all the tools and supplies that the gardeners will need to tend their plots. So we have garden tools, watering cans, and we also receive a good donation of seeds from the William Dam Seeds Company, and we're really thankful to them for that. We've also had to supply the shed with cleaning products and sanitizer, and that's just to keep our gardeners safe during this season. We also, if we move along towards this direction, we also have a little free library here in the garden with reading materials that are not so awful.
It's fine.
We have reading materials here in our little free library here in the garden as well.
That's a beautiful library you have there, Mrs. Venema.
Like, this is so bad. Okay, and now we are a really good feature of our garden this morning on this beautiful Saturday morning. We have the Brody family.
Oh, there they are.
They are participating for the first time ever. This is their first season, and they are working super hard. All right, so we have the Brody family, and they're going to be planting a whole bunch of different kinds of seeds, and they're going to tell us what they're going to plant.
Okay. So, Caden.
Bush beans.
Oh, sorry.
And cauliflower, carrots and lettuce, cucumber and radish.
Nice, beautiful.
So if you are wondering how you can be a part of this garden, I have some suggestions for you. If you happen to live in the area and you're going for a walk through the garden, say hi to the gardeners, encourage them in what they're doing. Also, for the little free library, if you happen to have some gardening books that you're not using and you'd like to donate those, we welcome those. And also, as another thing that I want to get going on, I want to start kindness rocks here at the community garden. So if you're feeling artistic, paint up a rock, place it on a plot or somewhere in the garden where somebody will see it and encourage them in their day. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
So my first kindness rock is going to go over here to the Brody family.
Okay, beautiful. There we are.
Where is it? Okay, and there they are.
Where
Let's
is
see.
it?
Happy gardening, guys.
Yeah.
God bless.
Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad